Good day everybody, welcome back to the channel, welcome back to the next video of the NHL's end of the season series. I already talked about the 32 MVPs I would name for the 32 NHL teams. Today it's not only about the Hart Trophy, which is for the MVP, but about all the trophies. Board number 1 is ready, I have to set up board number 2 when we're done with this part of the video. And let's go to the major trophies. I will be doing for 8. As mentioned, 4 on this board, 4 will be on the next one. So let's start off and let's get into who I think will win which trophy in the NHL's 25-2026 regular season. And let's start off with the Vezina Trophy for the best goaltender. Yeah, last year, of course, this was Connor Hellebuyck, who not only won the Vezina, but also the Hart for the most valuable player of the league. We will come to this trophy soon. But first about the Vezina, and as you can see, I do not have Connor Hellebuyck on the board for this year. I do have Logan Thompson of the Washington Capitals on the board, who had a fantastic season. 29.2 saves above expected. 31 wins, 912 save percentage, great season. Andrei Vasilevsky from the Tampa Bay Lightning, 25.5 saved above expected, with 38 wins, which is the lead in the league. And a 913 save percentage, very high as well. Then, of course, the proud of the New York Rangers, Igor Shesterkin, 21.3 goals saved above expected with 25 wins. Okay, on the Rangers team, that is not very good this year. This is an effort, definitely. And a 912 save percentage. Then I have Scott Wedgwood of the Colorado Avalanche, 20.2 saves above expected. 29 wins and a 918 save percentage, which is the lead of the league. And then, of course, Jeremy Swayman from the Boston Bruins, 26.4 goals saved above expected, 30 wins, 906 save percentage. The goaltending was very good this season again, and it will be definitely a hard call whom to give the Vezina Trophy, because I think these 5 guys would all have deserved it. Yeah, Vasilevsky won it before. I think Shesterkin won it before. And who will win it this year? Okay, this is a hard call. This is really a hard call. But in the end, I think Swayman will not. Shesterkin not as well, because the Rangers will not go into the playoffs. I think Wedgwood, yeah, he had 43 starts, but basically he's the 1B in going into the playoffs. You know what? I give it to the guy that was refused to start the Olympic final for Canada, to Logan Thompson. Maybe they would have won with him. I don't know. I think he is the best goaltender of the season. Although the Washington Capitals might miss the playoffs, this is not decided yet at the time of recording. Let's go on. Norris Trophy, the best defenseman in the league. And yeah, there's this discussion. Is it the best offensive defenseman? How much do you take into consideration the defensive aspect of the game, as they are defensemen? Yeah, this is really a point of discussion every year again. So let's get into my discussion. I do have 5 names on the board as well. I have Cale Makar from the Colorado Avalanche, 20 goals, 55 assists, 75 points, plus 29, which is very good. Zach Werenski, 22 goals, 59 assists, 81 points, plus 8 for the Columbus Blue Jackets. Quinn Hughes, who split the season between the Vancouver Canucks and the Minnesota Wild. 7 goals, 69 assists for 75 points and a -4. Evan Bouchard, who is the points leader. I have to put him on the board. He's the points leader. 21 goals, 70 assists, 91 points and a plus 22, which is pretty good. And yeah, Rasmus Dahlin from the Buffalo Sabres, 19 goals, 53 assists, 72 points and a plus 16. And the Sabres do have still 2 games remaining, so he could hit 20 goals, which would be great. And I think then he would be the 6th Buffalo Sabres player to hit 20 goals. Okay, who do I give the trophy to? You know what? Quinn Hughes was just 7 goals and low plus minus. No. Makar has a good season, but not as good as I would want him to have. Evan Bouchard, too many defensive misconducts. Yeah, he's the points leader. He could win it. He could definitely win it. I would not give it to him. And I would also not give it to Rasmus Dahlin. So Zach Werenski, the best defenseman and the MVP of the Columbus Blue Jackets, I would give it to Werenski. Next up is the Calder Trophy for the best Rookie of the Year. 3 names on the board. We have Ivan Demidov from the Montreal Canadiens, forward with 19 goals, 43 assists, 62 points. Very, very good. Then we have Matthew Schaefer from the New York Islanders, 23 goals, 36 assists, 59 points, and an average of 24 minutes and 41 seconds of ice time per game as an 18-year-old rookie. And Beckett Senecki from the Anaheim Ducks, 23 goals, 37 assists for 60 points. Also a very good season. These 3 are the points leaders among rookies. And the goals leaders as well, Schaefer and Senecki combined. And this is the easiest call on the board. I don't give it to Demidov, although he had a fantastic season. I don't give it to Senecki. But Matthew Schaefer from the New York Islanders, and this is why I'm wearing the Islanders jersey. What a season this kid has. 18 years old, number 1, first overall draft pick in 2025, and he's putting up these numbers and plays like a veteran. It's absolutely amazing. Okay, then trophy number 5 is the Hart Trophy for the league MVP. I do have on the board Connor McDavid from the Edmonton Oilers. Here's the jersey. 47 goals, 86 assists, 133 points with 2 games remaining. So he could hit 140 easy. Nathan MacKinnon from the Colorado Avalanche. Over here. 52 goals, which leads the league right now. 1 ahead of Cole Caulfield from the Montreal Canadiens. 74 assists, 126 points. The leader of the Avalanche, the President's Trophy winning team that will be the favorite going into the playoffs. Nikita Kucherov from the Tampa Bay Lightning. Without him, the Lightning would be nothing. 43 goals, 85 assists, 128 points. And I had to put up 2 more names. One we had already, Zach Werenski, 22 goals, 59 assists, 81 points for the Columbus Blue Jackets as a defenseman. And Macklin Celebrini from the San Jose Sharks, 42 goals, 68 assists, 110 points. And he's 19 years of age. And what would the Sharks be without him? This is also a very hard call. In the end, I would not give it to Werenski. Most likely, although he leads in goals, I would not give it to McKinnon this year. He won it last year. The other 3 guys, these would be my finalists, and I think all of them would deserve. In the end, I think the writers that will vote on it will give it to McDavid. I would not. I will give it to Macklin Celebrini because of what would the Sharks be without him. What would the Oilers be with McDavid, you might ask? Yeah, sure, fair point. But Leon Draisaitl, did you forget about him? I didn't. I have him down here. Leon Draisaitl was injured, I think, since the Olympic break, or a little bit after the Olympic break. Leon got injured and couldn't participate anymore. This put more pressure on Connor to perform even better. He did so, but Draisaitl is around. That's why this makes it harder for McDavid, in my opinion, to win the trophy. I would give it to the one guy on a team that might miss the playoffs, maybe. Yeah, most likely miss the playoffs, but he is such a great player. Okay, this was board number 1. Let's get board number 2, and then let's continue. Okay, board number 2 is ready. Let's continue. Let's continue with the Ted Lindsay Award, which is voted by the players for the best player in the National Hockey League. And I think this award is the most worthy, more worthy than the Hart Trophy, because it's not voted by some journalists, but by the players themselves. And I do have Kel McCarr on the board, Connor McDavid, Nathan MacKinnon, Nikita Kucherov. The stats all were on the previous board, so I didn't put them up again. And I think the players will say the best player among us is not Kel McCarr, it's Connor McDavid. Wow, what a player he is, what a guy he is. It's absolutely amazing to see him on the ice. And I think the other players will think so as well. Then, the Jack Adams Award for Coach of the Year. Normally this is awarded to a coach of a team that is a surprise to go back to the playoffs or to go better than expected. That's why I have two names on the board. That's Lindy Ruff of the Buffalo Sabres and Rick Tocchet from the Philadelphia Flyers. Both these guys took teams that were expected to be at the bottom of the standing, and Buffalo could still win the division. Philadelphia likely to make the playoffs. Both would deserve this trophy. But I also have guys on the board that are keeping their teams up in the standing for quite some time. So John Cooper from the Tampa Bay Lightning, Jared Bednar from the Colorado Avalanche. All the best to him. The incident where the puck hit him in the side of the face, this was really scary and really ugly. And Jared Bednar, I wish him really all the best, that he might come back as soon as possible and coach the playoffs with the Avalanche. This would be great. Okay, but who will win the trophy? Yeah, okay. They all would deserve it, but I think in the end, after a 15-year drought the Buffalo Sabres had, Lindy Ruff taking them back, he has to win the award. Okay, then two more. First is the Selke Trophy for the best defensive forward. 5 names on the board again. Anthony Cirelli from the Tampa Bay Lightning. 23 goals, 29 assists, 52 points, plus 39, which is very, very good. Nick Suzuki from the Montreal Canadiens, 29 goals, 72 assists, 101 points, and a plus 37. Nico Hischier from the New Jersey Devils, 28 goals, 38 assists, 66 points. Mark Stone from the Vegas Golden Knights, 27 goals, 43 assists for 70 points. And one guy that has to go up on every board where I talk about trophies as long as he's playing. Sid, yeah. 29 goals, 45 assists, 74 points. With some injury breaks he had to have this season. I think, the defensive side can not only mentioned by plus minus, but by the eyeball test. That's why Stone, Hischier, and Crosby are on the board. The numbers clearly say that Cirelli or Suzuki, one of them should win it. And I think in the end, it will not be Stone, it will not be Crosby, it will not be Hischier, it will be Nick Suzuki from the Montreal Canadiens, who has a fantastic season. And yeah, he is the captain and the leader of the Montreal Canadiens. They will go to the playoffs. I wish them all the best. And his play, normally this was the trophy that always was won by Patrice Bergeron. When he retired, it was always won by Alexander Barkov. They have a real contender now. And finally, the Gregory Award for the General Manager of the Year. Some names on the board, like Kent Hughes from the Montreal Canadiens. The Habs last year just made it into the playoffs. This year they are fighting for the division title. And I guarantee the top 3 in the Atlantic Division, which I think is the strongest division of them all. Yeah, he did a great job. So did Kyle Dubas from the Pittsburgh Penguins. Very surprised that to put his name on the board, but the Penguins came basically out of nowhere to go second in the Metro this year. It's fascinating indeed. Maybe this is just because of the final hurrah for Crosby and Malkin. Let's see about this. But he surrounded them with some players. With them, they could win. Good performance by Kyle Dubas. Then I do have Pat Verbeek on the board from the Anaheim Ducks. He took over the Ducks when they were dead last and everything was broken. Now they are in the top 3 of the Pacific Division. The rebuild did work, and Pat Verbeek did a fantastic job. Mr. McFarland, you know whose general manager that is? Yeah, right, it's the Colorado Avalanche. Everybody is still thinking, Joe Sakic is the GM. No, he's not. He's the president of hockey operations, and McFarland succeeded him as the GM. And the President's Trophy winning general manager should be on this board, I think. And I have Don Sweeney from the Boston Bruins. After missing the playoffs last year, he hired some good players. And his best effort, he hired Marco Sturm as the head coach. That's why Don Sweeney is on this board. Okay, who will win the award? Yeah, I think it should be Kent Hughes. Going through a full rebuild and coming out of the rebuild with now reaching the playoffs for the second year in a row, Kent Hughes and the Montreal Canadiens did a fantastic job. Okay, Quite a long video, I'm sorry for that, but yeah, there was a lot to discuss in these topics of trophies. This leaves two more videos for the series. One, the comparison of my prediction to the actual standings. I can do this on Friday with the regular season games ending on Thursday. And there will be the video on Saturday when the playoffs start. You will see my playoff tree. So I hope you enjoyed this unfortunately lengthy video. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe. And let's see you soon with the next video in the series. Until then, have a good time. Goodbye.